Welcome back to Cruising Maya, a video series detailing our 2-month voyage circumnavigating Vancouver Island aboard Maya, our 1980 Allberg 37-foot sailboat. In the last episode, we spent 2 very wet nights in Princess Louisa before heading back out into the Strait of Georgia to find the sun. In this episode, we continue making miles north and along the way discover a neglected engine maintenance item. We pick up the story on our way to Middle Natch Island, which sits right in the middle of the Strait of Georgia, but first we stop to explore Savory Island, which is pegged as one of the nicest beaches in British Columbia. Savory Island was a nice stop to stretch the legs and have lunch, and then we continued on to Middle Natch Island. That was just saying 5 feet under our keel. That's a little scary. We were kind of close to these rocks here. And the tide is going down, so we are out of here at 6 a.m. Middle Natch Island was pretty cool. It's a bird sanctuary. And now we're off to do some sailing in the Strait of Georgia and maybe catch some fish. Unfortunately, we didn't catch any salmon here on our way to Campbell River, but we did enjoy some sun and relaxation across the Strait of Georgia. After arriving at the marina in Campbell River for a few provisions and to top off our water tanks, we enjoyed some time on land exercising the dog. We were pleasantly surprised to find that there was a big celebration going on for Canada Day with music and amazing fireworks all right next to the marina.
Very nice Canadians. It was nice getting to know Campbell River. It was cool. Nice little town.
Now we are fighting the current, trying to get up to Seymour Narrows. The tide changes tomorrow at like 6 a.m. So we're planning on, actually 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
It's going to be an early morning tomorrow to go through the Narrows.
So basically we're just going about 7 miles closer, and then that puts us in good position to get at the Narrows first thing, right at slack, and then we will ride the current basically all the way up.
Hopefully we'll make quite a few miles tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a big travel day. The current holds, and we can just, be moved along with it. We can get a lot of miles done. Well, we didn't expect to use our river skills out here on the ocean, but that's what we're doing. In order to combat, we can't really fight this current out there, so we are just hugging the shore and kind of hopping along the eddies. And now you can see, so current is coming this way, and this island right here is creating a big eddy. So where we were going, out in the main current, we were going like 1 or 2 knots. We are now going, same RPMs, 7.1. So there's just this big eddy here that we're just taking advantage of.
We learned our lesson to make sure to go with the tide and current, especially around Campbell River. We had gotten caught up finishing up last-minute errands at the marina and had missed our window. We eventually made it to an anchorage that has a nice trail that overlooks Seymour Narrows, so we could take a look at the route we'd be taking early the next morning. Gosh! I'm like swinging over a cliff.
So we are at Seymour Narrows right now. We're scoping it out for tomorrow, and there is a lot of water moving through here. Ripple Rock, somewhere right in here, there was this like lethal rock that they blew up because it was right in the middle. And
100 miles north of Vancouver lies Seymour Narrows, and in it, Ripple Rock. Even the largest vessel could easily be diverted from its course by the eddies and whirlpools that lashed around the rock.
By 1958, this stretch of water had claimed over 100 vessels due to the nature of the turbulent waters and an infamous rock that lay 9 feet below the water, known as Ripple Rock. In the late 1950s, they hatched a plan to remove the rock, The plan was to dig a long tunnel underneath the water and up into Ripple Rock. The next step was to then pack the rock and tunnels with tons of explosives and then detonate it.
4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Ripple Rock is no longer a hazard, but the current can still run up to 15 knots, and care must be taken to time the tides through Seymour Narrows just right.
But you can just see the current coming in. I mean, it's just like a full-on huge river. So this is what we're gonna do tomorrow. We're gonna basically hit this stretch at slack, and then we're gonna start moving up this way with the water as it recedes. So we're gonna go at high tide and ride the ebb out.
Look at this eddy line right there.
Yeah, look at this. This is crazy. Those whirlpools. We're way up here. Those things are huge. That is huge.
We made our way through the Narrows the next morning at slack tide with no problems. Hard to believe this is the same stretch of water that we've been looking at the evening prior.
The tide has turned and we are rolling with it.
We made good time and covered a lot of ground.
We're pulling out of Johnstone Strait just in time. The tide's changing. You can see our speed has gone down considerably. Feels really great to have got
a good run today.
really good run. Actually, our record day for us in terms of distance.
Wait, how many miles did you do?
We're gonna end up doing over 60.
Yeah, last year this same run we only did 40 miles.
40, and we were exhausted.
Yeah. This has been way more comfortable. I took a nap. You took a nap. Did you take 2 naps?
I took one nap, thank you very much.
After making good time through the Narrows and a big portion of Johnstone Strait, we knew we had been working the engine quite a bit and thought it might be a good time to take a look at an overdue routine engine maintenance item. We dropped the hook in one of our favorite spots in the Broughtons, Freshwater Bay.
The water impeller, this is what actually pumps the cold seawater through your engine. And they have little fins on there, and sometimes those fins will break off. If you find one of these little fins is off there, that means it's somewhere within this system here, your cooling system, and like you need to go find it. We're due, we haven't checked this in a while, so maybe like every 6 months probably wouldn't be a bad interval. Oh yeah, look, next service date, missed that one. Whoops. So we're overdue, and so we're gonna find out just what we're dealing with now. Seawater is gonna come out of here, a little bit will come out, so this is just meant to capture the seawater. And I have the seacock to the engine closed, just as a good precaution. Oh, there it is. I think we've got most of it. Screws off very carefully.
Oh.
Yep. So that's a bummer. You see, we lost one there. And this one is hanging on for dear life. We got to find this piece. It's somewhere in here. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing today. Yeah, the date, it is, it's July right now. July 2019. What you get? Yeah, you put off that maintenance, it's going to bite you. So now I'm going to spend potentially a couple hours finding that piece. And also important that you just be coursing with caffeine while working on any engine or boat system. Caffeine is the answer, so thumbs up. Now we're just going to start our hunt here, and we're going to continue to go through until we find it. Hopefully it's not in this thing. This thing is kind of difficult to get out, but we shall see. It's looking like we might be messing with the engine all day today. This is what we get for talking about like doing cosmetic projects on the boat. Like we're literally talking about, oh, it'd be nice to be really nice to paint the boat and, you know, really get the teak looking good. And then the boat was, I heard that. The engine just like, nope, you're working on my systems, man. That's kind of what it feels like right now. Also one more thing I cannot recommend enough are knee pads. If you're working on a boat, you're going to be working on your knees or some sort of ridiculous position, so help your knees out. There it is. Yes. Yes. There he is. Oh, yes. That is such a big win. Ah, awesome. That never happened. Yes. Oh, such a big win right now. So that piece we were missing, there it is. Oh. That is so great. If it wasn't there, the next step would be to take out this. There's a bunch of like brass tubing in here. We'd have to take that out. But in order to take that out, we would have to remove this thing, which is like totally mounted on there, and the engine, and it would just be a huge thing. But since we found that little piece, we just get to stop. We get to plug it back in, and we're good. We got a new fresh impeller, and our engine is happy. And we can go do something else other than engine maintenance today. I can't tell you how happy I am to see that little stinking little piece. It's like this is giving me so much joy. This is what the pump like kit gets you, and for us, like sometimes this works for multiple engines, so these are for a different engine, so we won't use these, but we will use these parts. We want to take the old one out, so this is the old one. And now the directions for this call for like all this to be like kind of basically lubed up, impeller, lubricant. Be sure to get it everywhere you can, including your work area, because that's how the pros do it. And then we're just gonna put it right in there. That's it. And it doesn't actually matter which way this is up or down. Once the engine turns on, it's gonna kick it to whatever direction is the correct one. Okay, and then next I'm going to lubricate the gasket. Fits right in there, as you can see. And now we're going to put the cover back on, and we're going to mark the outside saying its next service date, and we are going to stick to that service date. That's what we learned this time. Okay, now they're all in place, I will tighten them in the star pattern, just kind of like you would a tire on a car. All right, and with that, we're done. I'll open up the seacock and clean up. Also important, we'll mark this in our engine log. We will check this one in the spring. Another 6 months, another couple hundred engine hours. We'll check that.
Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know if you have any questions or comments about this week's episode. And join us next week as we continue to explore the Broughtons, visiting some of our favorite spots, as well as exploring new ones. We also try our hand at fishing and tossing out the crab and shrimp pots. Thanks again for watching, and cheers.
Ba-ba-ba